How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. Holy intimacy. Sexual intimacy can be a beautiful thing if there is mindfulness, concentration, insight, mutual understanding, and love. Otherwise, it will be very destructive. When the emotional, spiritual, and physical are in harmony, then intimacy can be very holy. It is easier to practice mindful intimacy as a monk than to practice as a lay person because it's easier to refrain from sexual activity altogether than to maintain a harmonious sexual relationship. Physical intimacy should take place only when there is mutual understanding and love. Channeling sexual energy. The Buddha was 35, still very young, when he became enlightened. At this age, we have a lot of sexual energy. It's wonderful if we can use this energy for the benefit of all beings, just as the Buddha did. The young monastics in our practice center spend a lot of time chopping wood, gardening, cooking, doing sitting meditation, and practicing walking meditation. They organize retreats, take care of their brothers and sisters, and of the friends who come from far away to spend time at our center and practice with us. They are using their energy in physical ways and living a fulfilling life. This helps them notice and be aware without judgment of sexual energy and learn to handle it well. A strong aspiration. If you have a deep aspiration, a goal for your life, then your loving of others is part of this aspiration and not a distraction from it. If you and your partner both want to do things to relieve the suffering in this world, then your love for each other is connected to your love for others, and it expands exponentially to cover the whole world. What love needs to survive. The Buddha said that nothing survives without food, including love. If you don't know how to nourish and feed your love, it will die. If we know how to feed our love every day, it will stay for a long time. One way we nourish our love is by being conscious of what we consume. Many of us think of our daily nourishment only in terms of what we eat. But in fact, there are four kinds of food that we consume every day. They are edible food, what we put in our mouths to nourish our bodies; sensory food, what we smell, hear, taste, feel, and touch; volition, the motivation and intention that fuels us; and consciousness. This includes our individual consciousness, the collective consciousness, and our environment. Nourishing our love with edible food. The first source of nourishment is edible food. If we eat with moderation, eating only the food we need and eating the foods that help our bodies to be strong and healthy, then we are showing love and respect for our bodies and for the earth. If we don't eat healthy foods and don't treat our own bodies with respect, then how can we respect other people's bodies and the body of the earth itself? Sensory food. The second source of nourishment is sensory impressions. What we consume with our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When we read a magazine, we consume. When we watch a television program, we consume. Whatever we consume affects our body and mind. If we consume toxic magazine articles, movies, or video games, they will feed our craving, our anger, and our fear. If we set aside time each day to be in a peaceful environment, to walk in nature, or even just to look at a flower or the sky, then that beauty will penetrate us and feed our love and our joy. Nourishing your deepest desire. The third nutriment is volition. This is your desire, your hope, your aspiration. It's the energy that keeps you alive. You want to be someone. You want to do something with your life. If you are motivated by compassion and love, your volition will give you the energy and direction to grow and become even more loving and compassionate. However, if your desire is to possess or to win at all costs, this kind of volition is toxic and will not help your love to grow. You can practice developing a strong and positive volition. You can even put your commitment in words, such as, I vow to develop understanding and compassion in me, so I can become an instrument of peace and love to help society and the world. This kind of intention is based in our deepest aspiration, nourishing consciousness. The fourth source of nourishment is collective consciousness and individual consciousness. Our individual consciousness is influenced by the collective consciousness of our environment. We absorb and reflect what is around us. If we live in a place where people are angry and violent, then eventually we will become like them. If we live in a family or community where there is a culture of being understanding and compassionate with each other, we will naturally be more peaceful and loving. Children growing up in such an environment will learn to be caring and kind.